Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. October the 9th, 0608. Um, Today's topic is going to be resiliency. Um, you're going to have to forgive me on this one. I'm kind of shooting by the hip. I'm having trouble getting going this morning. We already done the ruck, so that's out of the way. Just having trouble getting into the headspace and timing to do the video this morning, but that's not a it's not an excuse not to do it or not to get it done. Um, Resiliency, I feel like, is one of a soldier's strongest traits while they're in, and when they get out, they don't have the same support network that they had while they were in, and they're also not in the same mindset when they get out. Um, I know for me personally, my resiliency was super high in the military, like I just mentioned, and it did plummet greatly once I got out because of those reasons. Uh, I thrived in the tribal setting. Um, it's real easy when you got 120 guys that you can borrow stuff from, talk to about your problems, hang out with, just basically enjoy life with. And when you get out, you don't. You're by yourself. You have your family, but they don't understand sometimes the same thought processes that we have. But we still have to deal with the same problems in life. And when we get out, we get hit with these problems, and we fall apart. And falling apart doesn't always look the same, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think because somebody's crying that they're suicidal. They could be mad. They could be angry falling apart. And likewise, they could be crying and be sad falling apart. But your resiliency to withstand a problem and to bounce back from it, I believe, is very key, especially nowadays. Um, it seems that suicide seems to be more prevalent amongst us, statistically speaking. Um, and so that leads me to believe that there is a resiliency problem. With that being said, I got this topic actually from my uncle this morning. He sent me a text message, and he was telling me about Thomas Edison, that before he finished the light bulb, he failed 10,000 times. And I said, wow, man. And while I was on my ruck, I was thinking about that. And I said, some of us guys and girls, we can't fail one time without giving up. So let that kind of be a little thought to you, 10,000 times. And I understand everybody's circumstances are different. I really do get that. Not one problem is alike or similar because, it's perception. And and with resiliency is once you get it, it's great, but it's to me it seems like it's something easily lost. That if it's not just like worked out like a muscle, that you slowly lose it or rapidly lose it. Sorry, and it's a necessity. It's key to be able to take a hit and to keep moving. Relate that to combat. It's essential. It's necessary. You have to have it when you're under adverse conditions. Um, and you're still asked to do these amazing, things and complete these extraordinary tasks, we do it and we thrive. And that's under fire. That's under fire. That's underneath people that we think, will end our careers or beat us up or smoke us to death. We can get those tasks done with those people breathing down our necks or those odds stacked against us. And we get out here and we can't, get a traffic ticket, be negative in our bank account, and stub our toe and not, have a pistol in our mouth. I mean that in a way to break it down to like a parallel level where you can see the problems stack up and then why somebody becomes suicidal, because it is that ordinary. If you getting that ticket, breaks you down because you don't think you deserve it, or i.e. you can't afford it. You go to try to buy something at the grocery store, your card gets declined. That's embarrassing. You got to put food on the table. You know, you hit your toe that night and it's broke. Now you're worried if you can go to work to pay that ticket and get yourself out of the hole and put money on the table. You're like, F it. And I, some people don't think it's that simple, but it is, y'all. It is that simple. Just how I just lined those problems up, those ordinary everyday problems, it can really hurt somebody. And if their resiliency isn't in the right place, then they're gonna have a harder go of it dealing with those just normal everyday problems. Um, when I was a teenager, I was not a very well behaved teenager, to say the least. Um, and I got myself in a predicament one time, and my grandmother wrote me a letter, and it had a clipping out of like a Bible digest, like a Reader's Digest, but like for the Bible. And it was just this little bitty square, and I still have it. And all it says is that, or how's it go? It says, it doesn't matter how many times that you fall off the horse, it's how many times you get back on it. And it was just that simple, and I still remember it to this day, because it's like, if you let those little failures or those little negative things keep you from waking up in the morning and going to work, or keep you from putting the left foot in front of the other, to keep the machine going, to see it turn out to a different situation, then you really got to work on your resiliency, because without that, it's going to be a very difficult walk in life dealing with everyday problems when you stack somebody that has a mental health problem on top of that. I should have been clear about that from the beginning. All this has to do with somebody that has an already mental health problem. Having resiliency when you have a mental health problem is difficult, and that's why I was saying those normal everyday things, you connect three in a row, and said person can feel suicidal legitimately. And it's sad, but and there's so many ways to practice your resiliency. And I don't mean go find bad situations to get in and practice it like that. I just mean, when something does go wrong, or something's not going your way, or is bad for you in life, is just finding a way to find thankfulness in your surrounding situation, outside that one factor or that one circumstance, and you know be positive leading up until that circumstance gets cleared up, and just trying to keep the best attitude that you can, and understand that this problem is only temporary. That whatever this thing is, and I understand, y'all, that doesn't suit every situation. What I'm talking about is guys and girls that have a mental health problem. I shouldn't say problem, but have mental health issues, dealing with normal everyday things in their resiliency. It's very much, I don't hate to say it, not much more difficult. That's not proper English, but it's harder for said individuals. And I just hope that anybody that's listening to this, if you know a guy or a girl that has a hard time with resiliency, reach out to them in any type of way to try to strengthen that for them. If there's a way that you think, whether that's through religion, whether that's through, um, fellowship, and not necessarily pertaining to religion, just having, other peers to hang out with, or other family members to hang out with for support. Encourage them. Listen to their problems. don't be an enabler, but listen to them and remind them that, that's only temporary and that things will get better. And, just let them know that you're there with them and remind them. And also, guys and girls, for my veterans that don't have good resiliency, I just want to remind you who you are and what you've done in your life and in this world. You have faced some amazing odds and some great odds and came out on top. And don't let this outside world keep you down when we've lived in a totally different environment and a different atmosphere and we've thrived in it. And this world is nowhere near as harsh as that was. And I'm going to leave y'all with that. And I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a good Saturday. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning.